Hey guys, this was kind of a weird little message that I was told to share. I don't know why I'm told to share this because to me it's just kind of like not serious in my well, it's serious, but it's like I don't know. It's just kind of strange. Anyways, I was sitting here and my guides told me that there are certain movies that do specifically well because there's an altar that's lit for it. So meaning that if you do if for example the movie Selena, right? They came through and said that the movie Selena did so well because someone lit like connected with her when when they were deciding to make the film and when the film was being made. Someone lit a candle for her. Someone kept an altar up for her and communicated with her. So this very well could have been her family, or this could have been like, for example, they're saying it's somebody that would have known her. Like it would have been like a family member. Hell, it could have even been like maybe someone lit a candle, like a writer or a producer, maybe even J-Lo. Someone lit a candle to connect with her energy, to get her energy in that movie, okay? It could very well be J-Lo, that who maybe lit the candle just to ask for respect, or ask for some type of guidance or to pay some type of respect to her, since she would have been playing her in the film Selena. But it could very well be a family member that asked for her energy to be present, because they came through and shared that with me. And then they said movies, anytime there's a movie made about someone who's passed away, it's on they just said fragile grounds. Like it's tricky because not everyone is going to have respect for the spirit, the person who's passed away. Not everyone is going to tell the story correctly, or at least tell the story in a way that's presentable, the way that the person may have wanted it. So if you don't come to that spirit with respect, or if you're doing something just to profit off of it, there's going to be issues, okay? The movie may do well, but there's still going to be issues in some type of way. So I found all this interesting. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know why I need to know all of this, but certain movies that don't take off, if it's a movie about someone who's passed away and it doesn't take off, it's probably because they didn't call on that spirit. They didn't ask that person for permission, or maybe they're doing something that isn't true, or it's the motive behind doing it, okay? Like my nose just started getting like real like itchy when I said that. So I definitely feel like that's on point there. They're making a big emphasis on the Selena movie, that her things may have not been exactly how it was in real life, but they're saying something about it did so well because there was a certain blessing. Like maybe someone went to her, like left an altar for her. Someone connected with her spirit in order to like get that movie going. So I don't know what that's about. It could have very well been J-Lo. It could have been more than one person who did that. But it feels like there was some type of like prayer. It feels like there was some type of like, do you mind that I'm doing this? Is it okay that we're doing this? We want to respect you. Not here to make you look bad. Like, we want to respect you. We want to share your story. Do you mind this? It feels like her spirit was very much on board with the movie and getting it across, okay? Was there a show done about her? You guys, there's something about a show coming through. Something about a show being okay. So I don't know what that's about, but the movie, the one with J-Lo, that seems like something was done energetically, spiritually, and that's why that movie went well, okay? But they're saying that when it comes to other movies, when it has to do with souls that have passed on, especially, they just said, especially if they passed on tragically, there's a need to, one, share the story correctly, or at least have like, make sure that everyone's on board. Most importantly, make sure that that spirit's on board. So something a lot of people don't think about. They think about, oh, we can reach out to the family, or and some people don't even care to reach out to the family. Some people don't even reach out to family. They just want to profit off of someone's story, and then they don't end up telling it, the way it's supposed to be told. And they're even saying there's even bias within the family telling the story too, because sometimes they don't want everything to come out. But they're saying if you don't get that spirit's permission, if you're not giving offerings, if you're not giving blessings, if you're not going to them to ask for their permission or to say, look, this is what we want to do, and actually taking time to tend to that altar and to actually connect with that spirit, the movie's probably not going to do good. It's not going to do well. Something is going to happen. So because you're doing something to get someone's permission, even though they aren't here in the physical, they still very much are. Their spirit's still alive. Their physical body just isn't here. So there's something about that. Like, people need to really watch out. These directors, producers, writers need to be careful when they're making movies about real people who existed and who aren't here. Okay, so that is deep. Like, I thought that was really interesting, because think about all the movies that have been made that have been inspired by someone's life or by someone's story, or it's supposed to be about someone. And some movies do good and some movies do horribly. They just said something about the Freddie Mercury movie. What about the Freddie Mercury movie? They're saying it's like this, kind of like floppy. So I guess the opinion of it is kind of like this. It's like, so there were some truths and there were some things that were like either watered down or exaggerated. So it's either way. It's like it was either watered down or it was exaggerated. It's shaky territory. So it could be the storyline that's shaky. So someone could have very well went and tried to leave an offering or ask for Freddie's energy to be present in that movie, but something was still kind of shaky about it. It was a great movie in my opinion, but what I'm channeling right now is like something that was shaky about it. Something was a little, like, for example, if he were here, he would have probably, obviously, if he were alive, he probably would have definitely had a lot of say in it. But here's the deal. When their families are involved, or if you're telling a story about someone who's alive, they could want to manipulate it in a way where some of the bad things aren't being shown, because it's their story, right? You don't want everybody to know everything. So when someone passes away, it's very important that it's tricky, because you want to share the story, you want to share the truth, but you also don't want to offend the person who's deceased, and you don't want to offend the family or friends. So certain stories are a bit trickier than others, and you always want to make sure you have that spirit's respect. That's no shade to the Freddie Mercury movie, because in my opinion it was amazing, but they just came through and said something being a little shaky. So I don't know if it was a storyline that was a bit something about it they weren't quite feeling. Yeah, because I'm getting the vibe of it could have been like, we could have fixed this. They just said they had the perfect actor. They just needed to there was something about it. I don't know if they ran out of time and they had to edit, because that happens a lot in films where you've shot so many scenes, but when it comes to trying to squeeze everything into a certain time frame, so it could be, get out there, because you can't have like a 3-hour long movie. It ends up being a show. And I guess that's why some people make different, like, these shows. But, I don't know why they just said like the Versace, like the Gucci kind of storyline. I don't know where they were going with that. But anyways, it's a long story, so they try to kind of push it and squash into a certain time frame, and that means that certain things have to go. Certain storylines, certain scenes can't be in this one box, this frame of time. So, then we only get bits and pieces of it. So it's tricky. You can't please everyone, but when you are telling a story about a passed on person, you want to be as clear as possible, and you definitely want to leave offerings for that spirit. You always want to be respectful of who that is, because apparently this is a big thing. And it's kind of common sense, but it's kind of not. It's like, oh, really? That matters? They care about that? They do. Because they're saying legacy, and the way, the spirits are very much alive. Like, you wouldn't disrespect your ancestors, right? You wouldn't be out here talking bad about your ancestors who are protecting you. Then you don't want to do the same. Even if they are celebrities, it's just like, still, they're put respect behind people's names. So with that being said, that still matters. Think about movies that people make where it talks about like different like spirits and entities and all of that, and people who weren't the most positive of people while they were here. That's some stuff to think about. Like, so there's certain things you just don't want to tap into. Okay. And that's why, like I saw this post someone had shared, and they were so on point. I wish I knew who it was who said this, but they said, actors are channelers. When I heard that, I was like, OMG, that is so legit, because usually they channel different personalities. They channel different like energies, different characters, especially if it's a person that they're portraying. They'll channel that person, that spirit, that energy as much as they can. If they're a good actor, they're trying to really get in touch with that person. And a lot of times you have these actors that are so dedicated, they try to get into the energy of this character, and sometimes they prepare months to be this character, and sometimes it affects their mental health. And I truly do believe they're telling me this is why you hear different stories of different actors, like, something happening to them after they've, played a role, or while they're preparing for a role, because they're deep in this energy, especially if it's a lower energy, and it kind of takes a toll. So there's some things that, and they just said something that's kind of random, but like when you ask like an old band to get like back together, or to go back, rehash the past, or do a tour, that's something they did like decades ago, that can kind of bring up old energies, things that are unsettled, things that are things you don't want to revisit. So that's why sometimes you get people like spiraling down, or having a setback, especially if they had any addictions or issues, because it's like it triggers them. You have to remember that everything is energy, but it's like they have to channel or relive that energy again. And for actors, when they prepare for different parts, they end up channeling different energies. They don't even realize it. And some people do not know how to get out of that. Some people don't know how to cleanse that. They think that they're out of the character, but they don't realize that they still have they're saying remaining energy from whatever film project that they were working on. So it's very big that actors learn how to cleanse their energy, learn how to reset. I just heard reset their energy, reset their space. Who said that? Was it Shaman Derek? It could have been Shaman Derek who said actors are channelers, but I think I saw someone else say that actors are great channelers. So it may be two people that I'm referring to. And I thought it was very interesting, and I think it's very much on point. They do not know how to cleanse. Some of them don't know how to shift that energy. They don't know how to come back to themselves, say, okay, that's not my energy. That was that character. And let me move on, So it's interesting, and movies hold their own energies. That's why you can watch there's certain movies you can watch back to back for a whole week, and you can feel happy and joyful and laugh at it. And then there's certain movies you can watch and you can say, I never want to see that movie again. It was good, but I never want to see it again. And then there's some movies that you don't want to even see it in your house because it's creepy. So pay attention to how movies make you feel, the energy behind movies. There's certain movies you actually do not want to have in your home. I know that's crazy. Like if you're going to see a really dark movie, you probably, if you really want to see it, I would suggest you to see it at a movie theater, and then cleanse your energy before you get home. Do a cleansing, before you settle at home. Cleanse your clothes, go take a shower, a bath, cleanse your hair, cleanse your energy field, wash the clothes you're in, and change. It's most importantly, watch something different. Watch something that's totally different. You have to reprogram yourself because our brain picks up on everything that we kind of take in and consume. So energy is real. Spirits are real. And there's certain things that are easily channeled. Think about it. Movies they take time to create. So you're making a movie that's dark in energy. It takes time to be in that energy, okay? And now, not everything's that serious, but some things are that serious. So be aware of the type of music and movies you have in your home, obviously. We always talk about music, but movies and shows as well. Make sure that you're being aware of the energy you're constantly having in your home, the things you're constantly entertaining, the things you're allowing your children to watch, okay? It's important. Like, people who watch reality TV all the time, right? You keep that drama around you all the time, and yet you're like, oh, but I don't keep drama around me in real life. Like, you know, I don't have drama around me, but you go home and you watch drama all day. Make it make sense, you know? So it's the same type of energy. So we just have to be more mindful of what we consume, and be mindful that everything is energy, and that when you talk about people who've passed on, or if you're creating a project or even writing a book about someone who's passed on, pay respect to them. You know, pay respect to them. Ask them for permission. Leave them an offering. You know, ask their family for permission. Don't be shady. Don't be shysty and try to get a hit, you know, go over them. You know, give respect in order to receive it, because there's karma in everything we do, and karma is neither bad or good. It's just neutral. Whatever you put out there comes back to you, and the way you do it, that matters too, okay? And the intention behind it is what matters. So I don't know what that's about. It was very strong on the Selena message. That one was like very strong. Someone most definitely went to her, and I'm getting like someone actually like talking to her. Like, someone went to her and said, hey, we're doing this, or do you mind us doing this? Hope to do it the best way possible. I'm getting that vibe. So that's why the movie did good, and that's why the movie still is a great movie. Like I said, nothing's perfect. Things may not match up exactly, but and some things may, but furthermore, there's certain movies that are going to do well, and there's certain movies that aren't going to do well. So it's always cool to pay respect to those you are talking about. So that's what I have for you guys. I apologize for my appearance. Like, I have like 2 readings to do and some schoolwork, and then it's a night for me. Like, I'm just going to bed. So I came to you guys kind of bummy, but I had to tell you guys. I don't know why, but there you go, guys. Love you guys.